Hi everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Missing Link C-10 Ultra Magnus with the Deerstalker. You can see him there in front of the box. We'll go ahead and put him off the side real quick and take a look at said boxes, actually. And yeah, first of all, we'll just do the Deerstalker box, which comes inside this box. And yeah, you can see, well, it says Deerstalker there and a katakana, and you got some more Japanese right here. On the top here, you have, hey, look, there's Deerstalker in his two modes. On this side, you have Deerstalker. On this side, you have Deerstalker right there. On the bottom here, you have, hey, look, is a tech specs and bio right there, and on the other side thing you have also Deerstalker. Actually, maybe, yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Actually, I'm not sure if this is the bottom or this is the bottom, or this is the front or this is the front now. I'm like, I think this is the front, but yeah, that's Deerstalker's box. So there's that, and here you see Ultra Magnus's box, which yeah, this, you know, you got the Scramble City there, which is interesting. Scramble Shitty. Yeah, you got there. You got a little picture of him right there, and you got the nice artwork of them in there posing, and the right here I have a little bit of the, I can't remember what's actually right there. I think it's just more of the figure, but yeah. You got Takara Tomy right there, and you got the C-10, yeah, Missing Link and Sabertron and T-Spark and all that. Yeah, on the top here you have, well, Ultra Magnus and his two modes and everything. A whole bunch of Japanese as well. On the side here you have Ultra Magnus, and on the side you have Ultra Magnus. On the bottom you have how, hey, look, kind of a conversion process for Ultra Magnus there, and some, hey, look, ages 15 and up, and Transformers and some warnings and all that stuff right there. And of course, on the back, you have, look, there's the 86 artwork plus Deerstalker and Ultra Magnus. You know, it's kind of the multiple things you can do, and hey, look, there's tech specs and everything, and hey, some a phone number to call for customer service, and some more stuff about him and whatnot. And of course, what was the tech specs you can use included, tech spec decoder, and just, you know, hold it over there, and hey, look, now you can see his tech specs. So there's that. So that's the box. Of course, as you can also saw, styrofoam. Of course, along with those in the box, you have the instructions for how to transform him, you know, between his various modes, starting from his truck mode, because that's how he's packaged and everything. Quite a bit actually going on here. So there's that. You also have a little bio card thing, you know, it says Cybertron on it right there, and then you have the little punch hole right there in Ultra Magnus, and hey, look, there's a little bio thing right there, and the little like blueprints. Of course, you have the quote-unquote product catalog, Cybertron versus Destron, yeah, showing you so far the Missing Link stuff so far. Yep, including, hey, there's Delta Magnus or whatever you want to call them right there as well. So there's all of that, and of course a sticker sheet. So if you want to do stickers, there you go. I'm probably not going to bother because most of this detail is already on there. I think there's a couple things that might not be, like on Deerstalker, but yeah. Ultra Magnus. We're going to just look at the cab for now because, well, yeah, I've done this before. This is the cab, which, yeah, I've done this twice before. It is a white cab, surprise, with a silver stripe and an Autobot symbol right there. And of course you got the chrome on the wheels and the fuel tank and the grill and the headlights and bumper, smokestacks. Of course, a little rub sign which here, which I'm not sure is going to work right now for some reason, because it never does. Wait, there it goes. It's working. Haha. It's working. You see the Autobot barely. And of course, rubber tires and everything. There's something a little bit different here, which I'll get into a little bit. But yeah, for now, it's functionally, it's by all functionality the same exact cab as the, well, Optimus and Nemesis I reviewed already. As for Deerstalker, well, this is pretty new, because this was a thing that was in the Diaclone release of, I don't remember what they called it. I think it was Battle Convoy or something, whatever. So yeah, the Diaclone release had this little dude, and they removed it for the Transformers release, and they put it back. And yeah, they gave him a name and everything. He's Deerstalker, which is the name of the hat that, well, it's made famous by Sherlock Holmes, that weird little hat. But yeah, he's kind of a little buggy thing. He's got, you know, big rear tires, little rear front tires. They're all plastic and everything. You can kind of see his face right there and everything. But yeah, rolls pretty decently, just like he does. Rolls pretty well. They both roll pretty well. So, yeah, there's the vehicle modes. Basic stuff right there. It's actually a pretty cool little thing, at least in vehicle mode. And yeah, the trailer, of course, is a car carrier. You can see the car carrier, the red and blue and white, everything right there. You got the big old Autobot symbol right there. You got the red bay. You got all this stuff. You got the doors, nice little bits of detail picked out with both in sculpting and in paint, which is nice looking. Bottom, you know, looks pretty much like this. Again, rubber tires and everything. And the thing is, yeah, to hook Ultra Magnus up, you need one of two accessories it comes with. One of these two, which are kind of also his belts for the super mode. This one I believe is the one that came with it, like replicates the one that came with it originally, at least the Transformers version. This one is a modified version, which looks nicer in the robot mode. This one works better with Ultra Magnus in the truck mode because the offset, well, peg hole. So yeah, when you can bring it down here, there's little tabs right here, and you just tab it in, like right here. You just get that lined up. Tab that in. Because the peg hole is now more forward set, it works better with this because now it lets you, well, when you hook it up, you can actually turn. Versus if you use this one, it will be further set back, and it will barely be able to wiggle like this because the feet will be catching on this stuff. So definitely, if you want the truck to be fully functional, you should use the offset peg hole one. But yeah, so you got that stuff, and hey, look, yeah, it rolls pretty nicely and everything. That's pretty cool. And of course, you got this familiar accessory, which is the matrix, which is still stored in here, and that's, you know, like this, done like staying securely. But, you know, I see it just falls right out, so you have to kind of close it up real fast before it falls out. There's that. A couple of accessories include, hey, look, these little things right here, which, yeah, the missiles are separate pieces. They do not fire anymore. Yeah, they do not fire, so just be aware of that. They click into place, you can hear that. You can hear that click. But yeah, they don't fire anymore, and you can peg them either on the sides or in the front, like that. This, yeah. Like so. And yeah, this also, of course, the missiles come from the sprue, which has 4 missiles on it, and I already snipped 2 of them off, but 2 of them goes on. You also have this little thing, which, yeah, it's the, well, it's Magnus's chest, but it's also a little vehicle. You can see there's a little seat in there, and hey, look, it's got wheels. I believe the original American or Hasbro G1 release did not have the wheels. I think they removed them. Don't quote me on that. I never had it, so, you know, I don't know for sure, but I believe these were removed for the Transformers release. But yeah, this little thing can roll, though it kind of makes a not great noise. And yeah, you get the little, well, this is the Magnus head. Kind of, you know, empty eyes and everything. This can actually clip over this as a little gun thing, which is kind of neat. And of course, a little pilot, which happens to have a very specific coloring. Not sure if that's supposed to be Spike or Daniel. But yeah, it got a very specific coloring, and of course this can interact multiple ways. You can see them in here, like so. Hey, there you go, like that. You can see them in Deerstalker. So, and yeah, you can, if you remove the matrix chamber. If you remove the matrix chamber here, which, you know, fits in very snugly. If you remove the matrix chamber, of course, you can see them in here, like so. Like that. So there you go on that front. And of course, it's the Diaclone's got a very simple posability. There's no head movement, but the arms can move forward and back. See, the arms can move forward and back. The legs can move forward and back at the hip. And there you go. That's your posability there. Put this back in place real quick. Put this back in place. So, and the gun here as well. This is Magnus's gun. You can also plug this into Deerstalker with either one of the pegs on the pegs into the peg hole, so you can do that, or you can do that. Either one of those if you want. And there you go. That's pretty much all the accessories and everything. It's kind of a lot to go through. As for measurements, this little dude right here, the Diaclone pilot guy, he is a 1 1/16 inches tall, or 2.7 centimeters, and his weight, I can't really weigh him because he's light enough that my scale doesn't register him. The core robot here, his length without the trailer is 4 7/16 inches, or 7.5 centimeters. The full trailer, the trailer is a 9 1/4 inches, or 23.5 centimeters by itself. So yeah, you get a little bit of a bit right there. And this thing right by itself is 6 ounces, or 170 grams. The weight of the trailer is 22.2 ounces, or 630 grams. Deerstalker, his length is 3.5 inches, or 8.9 centimeters, and his weight is 1.6 ounces, or 46 grams. So yep, that's their measurements. Now, one little thing, kind of before I get into comparisons too, but yeah, because of course you can take these ramps here and you can untab them and bring them down. And hey, look, there's a little ramp, and you can roll Deerstalker up into the car carrier bit right here if you want. all the way forward, like so. If you want, you can do all that. But also, as I guess point of comparison as well, that was a squeak. As a point of comparison as well, here's, well, Sunstreaker and RC, missing link versions. You can see lined up next to them. And of course, these can both just, you know, interact with this guy, and, you know, as a car carrier. Well, I believe RC might be a little long. Just barely. And if you push Sunstreaker forward enough. Like so, you can do that. Oh, there's the tail fin just sticking out right between those. You got that so far. I'm not sure missing, well, we're getting Ironhide and Ratchet, but yeah. As for, of course, the top thing, you can unlatch this a bit and get these out of the way and bring this down. Like that. Oh, yeah. Although you kind of, if you want those lay flat, you kind of have to do some weird stuff, but yeah, you can pretend and then, you know, do that and bring this up and get these back into place. Get it back into place, and yeah, I have a car up there if you like. So yep, there's all that stuff right there, and of course I can instantly pop that off. So yeah, do that real quick. Get those out of the way. Here's missing link convoy as well. Let's give you an idea there, because of course the trailers are roughly the same length. Not quite. This one's a smidge longer, but like maybe half a centimeter. But yeah, and of course, yeah, you can if you really want, you can, at least in this mode, swap them around. You can if you want. You can do that. Swap the trailers around. That is not an issue. So that's a thing if you want to do it. There is that stuff. Swap them back. Also, of course, here's a, let's see that going on there. Here's, yeah, the recent Age of the Primes Ultra Magnus from the 4-pack. Just give you an idea on that front. Who is, I believe this guy is technically compatible with the trailer. So hold on just a second. I believe it's technically compatible with it. Yes, he is, but, well, he's kind of dwarfed by it, but yeah, you have that if you want. And of course, here's the Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. Just sitting funny. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, this is, there we go. Didn't put that in all the way. Yeah, you can see two of them there. Roughly the same size, actually. It's the funny part, at least in this mode. Close to the same size. This truck's cab's a little bigger, and you know, it goes to the darker blue from the cartoon and everything. But yeah, you got all that stuff going on. So there's that. So, how do I want to do this? There's a lot going on here. I'm going to get the cab out of the way first because I've already done that. So, yeah, transform the cab. I've done this twice. You have to, yeah, it's, you know, it's stupid easy to, you know, transform the cab, you know. Doesn't even, again, I'm not going to even bother doing the whole fast forward thing because there's no reason to, because this goes so fast. Yeah, no reason to do that because, hey, look, I'm already done. There's the cab. Right there in his robot mode. So that's pretty neat. Right there. And yeah, it's the core robot here is pretty much, you know, it's the same robot I've done twice now. It's, you know, all the same articulation, same proportions. Although, again, they did seem to have a little small bit of improvement on how the legs, you know, tab together in the vehicle mode, which is nice. But everything is pretty much exactly as you'd expect it. Again, you just mostly white. You got the nice blue right there on the helmet. You got some blue and gold right here. You got some silver and blue and some bit of red right there. You got some right there. And again, the only real difference here is this stuff right here on the back of the legs. But, well, again, that's not going to be a factor until later. Yeah, it has all the same posability and all the same clicking and everything as you'd come to expect from this missing link mold. And there you go. So, yep. All that stuff's still there. I mean, the gun's a bit different, but, you know, still pegs into his hand, no problem. So there's that. Looks all right there. Yep, nothing really too groundbreaking about the core robot. It looks pretty neat though. As for the measurements in this mode, his height is 6¼ inches or 15.9 centimeters. So there is that. Now as for Deerstalker here, to transform him is actually pretty interesting. So what you got to do here is actually got to get this stuff peeled away. You got to do that right there. You got to take this hinge and move that around. Got to then get this out of the way so it doesn't screw with the autofocus guy here. And you can do that, and then you take this stuff right here, and you got to move it this way, not the other way, this way. You have to move it specifically down this way, like that. Get it, swing it out of the way. Take the head here, rotate 180 degrees. And then what you want to do here is make sure this stuff is all the way out, and then you take these arm bits and move them all the way out like that. Make sure they're all the way out like that. You go ahead and bring this down, and it'll click into place again. You bring these forward right here. You want to bring this up and forward, and this right here will go over this peg, like so, and like so. Then you can move the arms down like this. Then what you want to do here is take these legs, you want to split them like this. Split them like this, and then bring them forward. And these bits, these little tabs here will go into there like that, and like that. And with that, you have Deerstalker in his robot mode, which at least is visually interesting. It's visually interesting to say the least. He's pretty cool. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. One last thing. Extend the arms down so you give yourself the elbows. And yeah, visually it's kind of interesting. He's a little lacking in posability though, because, well, yeah. Of the various things. Yeah, he's pretty much hollow. There's not a lot going on here because the nature of how he works and everything. It's kind of one of those things where they have to do a complete overhaul rather than just trying to, yeah, it'd be so completely different. People complain about it like they are with Ironhide, even though Ironhide looks cool now. Anyway. Yeah, he doesn't have any accessories, although again this rifle here is compatible with what he has, so you got that, you know, he can hold the rifle if you want. So there's that. Get that, although it's very snug comparatively. Yeah, but he looks pretty cool. Posability is a lot of it's kind of there, but not particularly useful. So you got the head is, you know, left and right, and that's it. There's just a swivel. The arms do a full 360 right there. There is no outward. There's no bicep swivel either. He does have an elbow joint which goes 90 degrees. His wrists do not swivel at all. There's nothing there. There's no opening or closing. There is no waist joint. His knees, he does have knees, but, well, yeah, it doesn't look great. And he does have, he can split the legs right here at the hips, and the hips can go outward. But the problem is, because of how it works, you split the legs at all, and he just falls right over because, yeah, there's nothing supporting him. I really feel like there should have been like some sort of thing that like just as a strut or something, like right here, just a little plank that folded down. Like there's room here. They could have easily just added a little plank here and like that little folded down, and then, you know, he could have stood just fine. But as it stands, if you want to stand, you have to put those together, and now he has to be stock straight. That's kind of your that's your only option, because otherwise, yeah, he can't stand if you separate the legs at all. So that kind of sucks. You have to do, yeah, you can do some, I guess, creative, quote unquote, posing. I guess you can get creative with the posing, but yeah, it's yeah, I mean, you can spread out just a smidge. It's about pretty much how about you can get. Yeah, you can get a smidge of spread on the leg. You know, spread the legs out just a smidge, and you'll still stand. Although you see he's leaning back a little bit because of that. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Unfortunate little, I feel, drawback. And also in this mode, he, in his measurements, his height is 4.5 inches or 4.25 inches or 10.8 centimeters. So there is that stuff. I'll just throw them on the ground, I don't know. But yeah, just do these guys' comparisons real quick though. Just get this adjusted a bit. Both these guys' comparisons, just because, yeah, I can do it right now. Missing link RC. Is that fully extended? Yes, it is. Okay. Here's missing link RC. Just give an idea there. What's going on with their legs? It's being weird. There's missing link RC right there. Give me an idea there. Missing link Sunstreaker right there. There's that. Of course, missing link Convoy. That's one thing. He does not come with an axe, which is a little unfortunate. I'm going to move these a little bit more. There we go. That's a little better. He doesn't come with an axe, unfortunately, but yeah, you can see, you know, pretty much the same looking robot. There's really, again, the only difference is back here. You see those legs, difference in the legs there. which only comes, it won't be a factor quite yet. Not yet. Not yet. Still not yet. And here's the Age of the Primes Ultra Magnus. I won't bring out Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus just quite yet because, well, that comparison is a bit different. So there's that. So, I'm going to get Deerstalker out of the way here, and yeah, I'm going to get, the trailer transformed for the armor mode real quick. Actually, get him transformed first. Yeah, so before I do the trailer, yeah, so for him, what you want to do is, of course, straighten out the legs right here, like that. You want to take the head and keep it there. You want to then take the arms, bring them back, and rotate the fists in, and, you know, bring the arms inward, like so. Like, you know, going back to truck mode, except, yeah. Make sure those are all the way in. Something's catching funny. Bring that in, and bring that in, and rotate the arm in. Why are you being weird? Might be that. There we go. Yeah, so you do that, and then right here, what you want to do on the back here is you want to take these little panels, open these up, and then flip the entire foot around like that, including the heel. So you open this up right here, like that, and flip the entire foot around like that, and that's pretty much ready to go for the combined. We'll put them off the side for now. And for the trailer, I'm going to take these bits and pull these off for now. Going to want to move this part, remove this right there. And then what you want to do, lift these up so they untap from this thing. You want to just move them out of the way like that. Just get them out of the way. I want to take these pieces and fold them in. You can see, fold that in like that. And then you take this right here, and you will take these and you rotate them up. And right here, there's a little tab right here. We'll go in a little slot. You can see right there like that. And it'll hook into, it's a hooked tab. So hook in like that. That just all came undone. And right here, what you want to do is untab these from each other and then bring them back, and they'll click into place like so. Like that. I'm going to bring this camera up. Go ahead and bring the arms down like that. Like that. Just bring them down right here. And then you could slide this up right here. Nice little ratchety thing right there. And you can rotate the fists like that. Bring this all the way down. Then slide up like that. Rotate the fist, and yeah, you have that. And then from here, what you want to do, coming down to the back, I'm going to take this and want to open these up right here. We'll open up as far as you can. This, and you want to take these bits right here and bring these out and open these up. So they're kind of sitting like that and like that. Just get them out of the way as much as you can. So then you want to take, not that. You want to take this and you want to bring it in, and it's kind of hard to explain, but you have to kind of get this. Basically, you want this, the top of this, the cab here, to be level with this bit right here. So just kind of line that up as best you can. Just kind of push it in, and don't get stuff caught in the process. You just push it in, and just kind of go in like that. Once you got more or less in, you're going to go ahead and bring these to clamp around the legs, and these right here will plug into the back of the legs. Like this, and like this. Plug in. It's a little fiddly sometimes. It's always a little fiddly. Come on, go in there. Plug in. So plug in. There we go. Gosh. Yeah, because these, you kind of want these more or less straightened out. That was the problem with that. Yeah, so it's going to look like that on the back. And then back up here, in front of here, you want to use one of the belt pieces. I use this one because it looks nicer. There's little tabs here. You just, plug it in. There's little slots right here. You just plug that in the tabs like that. Push it all the way in. Make sure it goes all the way on. I don't know why it's fighting right now. It's never had that happen before, because of course. Yeah, and then this, we're separating that. You want to then just slide this in. There's little grooves. There's little notches. There's little grooves kind of here. You just kind of, again, just line up at the top and just push that in like that. And you take the helmet here and just put that on top like so. Push it all the way down like that. And then you take these bits, and with these, Because the thing was, traditionally on Ultra Magnus, the little peg holes were off center. So what you do is you go ahead and plug one side in, and the other side, what you do is, which is really cool, there's now a little piece here, so you can bring this down like that. And so now they will sit even with each other, and that's pretty neat. And with that, you have Ultra Magnus in his full robot mode. And yeah, sure is a G1 Ultra Magnus. For better or for worse. Yeah, it looks pretty neat from the front. I mean, that sure is Ultra Magnus, but yeah, then it's like the thing of like, I never knew how this worked for a long time. I just saw, wait, it's like, so it's like I saw the whole thing, like those, I remember seeing the picture of the original toy, so it's like, okay, like, so there's the original cab, which, okay, it's a white Optimus, I get that, there's a trailer, and then somehow you get this, where'd the white Optimus go, and everything. I didn't quite get it when I was really little, and then I was like, oh, so it becomes armor, wait, how does that work? And then I didn't, you know, then I'm seeing the back half and going, oh, that's how it works. I see. Kind of the realization of, oh, that's how it works. It's kind of a, it makes me think of that bit from the Labyrinth. I'm trying to remember, there's like a bit in the Labyrinth where it's like, yeah, the drill, that the little bit of the drill is this massive drill, and the other side is just two guys, just kind of like a little crank thing. It's like, oh, two little dudes, and it's like, oh, it's not as threatening as it seems. That's kind of what it feels like. It's just, this feels like theater, which for a lot of people that's good enough, but for me it's kind of like, oh. But yeah, there's also articulation in this mode. I mean, he looks pretty good and everything. It does look like Ultra Magnus in all, you know, pretty much all respects. I think this can go up a little higher, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it looks like Ultra Magnus, to say the least. Posability is kind of weird because the head can just still swivel. Like before, you got the ratcheted, you know, shoulder swivels right there. You do have outward right here, and that's also ratcheted. And of course, in certain poses, they're going to bang him in the head, so be careful of that. You do have a bicep swivel, which is nice. Elbows, you can see, 90 degrees. You do have wrists, can swivel, no problem. The fingers can open, although, yeah, like that. And the index finger is by itself. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As for like other posability, this is where things start to fall apart in my opinion. So down here you do have this little waist skirt piece, and you can separate the legs, right? They can unclip from each other, and how you look now, you got separation and everything. This is why this is so elaborate back here. I believe this is not how the original plugged, and I believe this might be the only thing left from there. But yeah, you don't have a waist swivel because of how it works. You do have this weird system right here, so the hips, right, you do have outward. You can see that you do have this outward, and that's pretty much your limit. Outward is that much. And so you do have forward as well. Again, there's a hip skirt. You do have forward, but the problem is it separates from the leg, the core robot's leg, really easy. It's supposed to come with it, but on mine, at least on mine, it has a tendency to just kind of, you know, separate instead of, you know, coming forward with it. And thankfully for that, because of that joint, yeah, you can get forward that far in the hip, but that's pretty much it. Theoretically, if you disconnect stuff, if you start disconnecting things, I believe you can get a little bit more forward posability, but yeah, you have to like remove this piece, and it's a little weird. As for knees, well, you have to untab this part right here. You have to untab that so you can then bend right here. There's a nice ratchet there, and you get a full 90-degree bend, which is nice, I guess, but it kind of looks a little weird too because of the nature of things. Like, all this stuff is like just really sticking out, so it looks a little weird. So there's that. And then down here at the feet, you do have ankle tilts. Like, again, it's kind of most the ankle, so you got, you know, a decent amount of ankle tilt. So you can make it work. It's just, it's a bit of a fight. It feels like you're fighting the figure in order to get him to move. And that's kind of the problem, particularly everything down here. Everything on the up here, that works. Everything on the upper half works just fine. There's no problem there. It's just the hips and lower just kind of. It just feels like I'm fighting the figure just to make it, you know, move. And even then, you barely get movement, which, you know, is one of those things where it feels like, yeah, they tried really hard. And I can see that they genuinely tried really hard to make this work, but it doesn't work very well. They genuinely tried and it just doesn't work. I mean, the gun here, you can still, you know, take the gun and stick that in the hand, and there you go. He's got his little gun now. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, I guess just because I can show that off real quick. Just want to show that off, just if I can, yeah. Untap this. Show the difference between the two. feel like, yeah, I feel between the two, I feel like I prefer this one. So just an FYI, at least visually. That's my opinion, but you know, you may have a different one, and that's fine. Get this off. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but yeah, this has been actually going on really securely, but now I can feel it's popping itself back off. So that was not happening before, so I don't know what the heck happened. Which kind of stinks. But yeah, that's the big thing, is the posability just kind of is limited, and it's kind of because of the old design. They're trying to force posability, and it winds up looking weird, and it feels like I'm fighting the figure to make it happen. There's also another thing it's supposed to do. I haven't mentioned it yet. Right here, you're supposed to be able to open up this whole thing and like get to the matrix without removing the core robot. And you're supposed to be able to do this and open this flap, and you get in here and everything. And I don't think my robot's in there perfectly, but there we go. Yeah. You're supposed to be able to open this. I'm not going to do that because there's a design flaw, which is if you open this in this mode, you will scratch the white paint off your core robot. This stuff right here. So it's either that or you have to shave this down, this is metal. So have fun with that. I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to show that. You're supposed to be able to access the matrix chamber and everything, but I'm not going to bother trying because I don't want to damage it. So I'm just not going to show it. I'm not going to deal with that. It's not big enough. It's not important enough for me to try to, you know, modify the figure. So you just have to pretend you saw me opening the full thing. But yeah, just know if you try to do it, you're risking your figure. And here's Deerstalker, I guess. Yeah, that's the thing, is I feel like I'm kind of a little disappointed with this one as a whole, because yeah, it just didn't feel very good. Particularly, yeah, in this mode it looks fine, but yeah, I think the inherent flaws of the G1 toy are really exacerbated by trying to add posability in this particular instance, which is really weird. But yeah, in this mode, he is 9 3/4 inches tall, or 24.8 centimeters, and I think it says the total weight is 22.2 ounces or 37.32 grams. I might have already done that, but yeah, he's a big boy. But yeah, he's an annoying big boy. But I brought this guy out. So yeah, as for some comparisons, real quick. Again, here's Missing Link Sunstreaker, right there. Here's Missing Link RC. Here's Missing Link Convoy. There. And here's Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. It's only a little bit shorter. There's that. So yeah, that's the big robot guy. Again, I find he's just kind of disappointing when it comes to the articulation. At least the lower half of the body is. The upper half's not bad. Not bad at all. It works great. But yeah, the lower half just kind of like, bleh. Real quick, there are two like base modes, quote unquote. I'll try and bring up real quick. One's kind of almost looks like more or less the kind of the repair gantry type of thing they want you to do. But yeah, the other one thing is very much just a different take on the trailer, and it's weird. Yeah, so with that, what you want to do is you want to get the gun out of here, and you want to remove the hands, because the hands can unpeg. You know, you want to unpeg the hands, and then from there, you want to take these bits and close it up, and then you want to then just plug those in right here like this. You want to, bring those, plug those in if you like. Kind of, if you want, you can also remove the missile bits and plug those in, and then like. From here, just putting this all back together, tabbing this all back together right here, like that. And you're supposed to like, do this, and they want you to like rotate this one down and have this one forward, and then from here, unplug this stuff. By the way, the Missing Link Convoy, I believe, can technically kind of come in here, but you can't really secure the legs. You can secure everything else, but yeah, legs can't be secured, so just be FYI on that. I'm going to get this guy transformed to core robot mode real quick. So yeah, actually what it is, they wanted to do like this. That's what it was. Yeah. So you just kind of like have it like this, and yeah. And you can, I guess, it's like sort of a repair bay of things, I guess. So there's that mode, and then the other one is another trailer mode thing, which I got to remove these things from here. And I'm going to put the fists back as well. Yeah, when you extend it, you also remember to rotate the fist before you slide the forearms, because otherwise things are going to go really bad. Just remember that. And with this stuff, you want to kind of close this stuff up too. And yeah, folding these things is kind of, yeah, I can never remember quite how they want you to fold it. I can't remember how they want to fold you back, but I'm just like, kind of do this. Just kind of fold it away as best I can. Kind of like that. It works. Because it's one of those, I cannot for the life of me remember how it was actually folded away when I first got it out of the box. But yeah, I just do that. But anyway, for this stuff, yeah, you want to rotate this, like these just get them like that. Then you do this, and this one is, I don't want to do that. Right here, it's kind of, there's a little thing right here in the forearm. Bring that down, and that will go into a little hole right here. Make sure this is fully folded away too. And that will go into that hole right there like that. You do that, and you can do it with both sides again. Here, just bring that down, and then plug it in right here like so. And that can sit right there. And apparently I also want you to push this back, which is also unplug these because the fists are still there. Yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah, because so what you got to do is like, yeah, multiple secure points right there, because that's actually pretty secure in its own right there like that. And then you push this back, and that plugs in right there like that. I'm not going to bother with the other one. And they also want you to put this in the core robot mode. So hold on. Yeah, it's like they want to, the cab down here and everything. I guess that's a thing. And then also you can do a weird other thing, which is, yeah, bringing this stuff back, Yeah, bringing this all back up. If I can unhook this. Come on. There we go. And then rotating this stuff forward, and yeah, this is a thing. It's an upside down trailer, I guess. This is official. I thought about just not showing this, Yeah, this part right here, this thing, moving that. Get it out there. There we go. Apparently this can let's go right here, I guess. Or something. I don't know. Yeah, this can like go right here. Or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Well, yeah, sure, I guess. This is a mode. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it's a mode of sorts. It's the most ridiculous, like, sure, I guess thing. This is really ridiculous. I don't know. Both of these modes are kind of just ridiculous. I don't know. I'm never going to do this again after now they've done the review, because it's just kind of dumb. But as a whole, Ultra Magnus here is just kind of a little disappointing in my opinion. I think of all the missing link I think this is the only one I've actually been disappointed in when it comes to the missing link stuff. I'm just kind of about it. It's the core robot's fine. I mean, I've enjoyed that. It's well enough. I mean, but of course, it's the third time I've had it, so it's, the specialness has kind of worn off. The problem is the trailer's fine, but the problem is when you get to the super robot mode thing, it's like its flaws really start to show. It's just not only are the original flaws of the G1 toy, I guess, yeah, because I don't think the G1 toy is particularly cool once I found out how it worked, but trying to add in the articulation kind of adds extra flaws, so it's like, I just can't help but feel disappointed. And plus, a whole feature just doesn't work. This whole thing with the matrix chamber door in the super mode just doesn't work right, because yeah, it will destroy your figure. So yay. Deerstalker's pretty neat, but he's also got a flaw where, yeah, if you separate the legs at all, well, guess what? You can't stand. You can't really stand very well, so that's kind of stinks too. That could have been solved with just a little platform that folds down, which they could. I can see there's space there, so I don't see any reason as to why it doesn't exist. So, he's just kind of weird, and particularly adding the fact that he costs like nearly $200 US. All said and done, when you can import him. Yeah, I don't think he's really worth it. Not unless you're a diehard Ultra Magnus fan. And if you are, so be it. But yeah, for me personally, I'm just like, oh man, this was kind of almost a waste of my money. Almost, I can't help but feel like I should have waited till I could have got them really cheap or something, but I'm not sure if I could have. But regardless, I just can't help but find it just a bit disappointing. I know that might upset people, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. Just, yeah, this Magnus is just kind of a little disappointing. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'll keep it or not at this point. I'll hold on to it for a bit, but I might just sell it down the line because I'm just not really feeling it. So yeah, it's just kind of a, for me personally, yeah, I would say just don't, it's not worth the near $200 you'll spend to get it. It's just, there are far better figures you can get for that kind of money. So yeah, that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my social media down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my call for my Patreon. I'll see you next time with another video review.